St. Aug, man. I don't know how to deal with that.
You get over it.
He's a pro, Anthony. He will not sabotage
Now
you.
watch, when you get the tape, I'm gonna be all fuzzy, I'm gonna be all messed up. Light gonna be bright.
Go for it.
All right. Well, Anthony, now that you and our camera operator Kevin Stewart have made peace with your high school rivalries.
That's right. That's right.
Anyway, New Orleans boy, huh?
Yeah. Born and raised in New Orleans and been living in New York for almost 8 years now. So I'm technically considered a New Yorker.
Yes. Are you also a basketball fan like Spike Lee?
I am, but I'm more of a Hornets fan. I can't say that I like the Knicks. I haven't liked the Knicks in a long. I've never liked the Knicks. I was a Lakers fan first, then I gradually, moved on to San Antonio. But now I'm a diehard Hornets fan.
And the Mavericks are going to figure in there someday, maybe.
No, I'm the biggest fan of Dirk Nowitzki. Anybody over 7 foot tall that could drain a 15 and out foot jumper like he can, I have nothing but love for him.
So Spike Lee hired you in spite of the fact that you don't like the Knicks.
Exactly. Well, I didn't tell him that. I mean, he, as far as he know, I wear my Knick T-shirts and all that stuff. He thinks I'm a diehard Knick fan.
And now he will know.
Exactly. No, I went to my first Knick game because of Spike. We had this big argument about San Antonio and Tim Duncan, and I was telling him that Dirk, I felt, was a better big man than Tim Duncan. So we got in this huge argument because he's a huge Tim Duncan fan. So for my first Knick game, he gave me his seats to the San Antonio Knick game. So I had to sit and watch Tim Duncan. So I would learn my lesson.
Tell me honestly what your reaction was the first time you either heard about She Hate Me and what it was about, or you read the script.
Well, I was working with Spike on this movie for Showtime called Sucker Free City. And I asked Spike to introduce me, to put in a good word for me to Malcolm Lee, because Malcolm Lee was working on this project that I wanted to be a part of. And Spike gave me the script for She Hate Me and told me if I didn't like it, he would put in the call to Malcolm. And when I read it, I was blown away by it, because it's not often that young brothers that are actors and not rappers get the opportunity to really show range and versatility in and show their chops. So I was really blown away by the emotional aspect of the character, and I was really blown away by the social commentary of the script.
Was there anything about it that frightened you or made you uptight?
The nudity kind of shook me a little bit, and so I went to Spike and asked him, what exactly he was trying to do and what story he was trying to tell. And he really put me at ease as far as what was going on with the script and what he wanted to do with it and how he was going to cut it and what story he was going to tell. So once we got all that out, I was gung-ho about it.
And when you were on the set, what was the most difficult day you had as an actor?
The most difficult day, I would say, in the last sequence of shots, there's a courtroom scene with, me addressing the SEC. And Brian Dennehy is somebody I've been admiring all of my career. So I get to set and I sit down and I have all this language to speak and this huge vocabulary. And I look up and there's Brian Dennehy. And he says his first line and he looks at me and I'm dumbfounded. And it was funny because all these extras behind me were talking all this gas about, how's this guy get this job? Who's he? Blah, 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 blah. And Spike pulled me aside and calmed me down, and we went back in, and it went really well. But at first, it was kind of jarring to be opposite Brian Dennehy and then be opposite Ossie Davis in the same day,
That's understandable. I'm not an actor, but even I understand.
Yeah. It was pretty shaky to look up and see Ossie Davis and then look up and see, Brian Dennehy. It was a monumental point in my career so far.
No matter how you try to avoid it, people are going to compare you with a young Denzel Washington. Your reaction?
Denzel is amazing. I mean, I think that's a great, disservice, not to me, but to Denzel. I wish one day in my career I could reach the likes of someone as prolific as Denzel. I mean, I just worked with him on Manchurian Candidate, and I had the opportunity to just stand back and watch him work and really just study him as an artist and an actor. And I was more blown away watching him firsthand than I was watching him on screen, because he's just amazing.
Let's talk just a moment about the Manchurian Candidate.
Yeah.
What is your role?
At the beginning of the film, if you've seen the original, there's the group of soldiers that go out and then come in, and they're experimented on by the scientists. And I play one of the young soldiers, Bobbie Baker, who's in the platoon with Denzel and Liev, and you know, in all the backflash stories and all that stuff. I'm in all that with them.
And how did that come about for you?
I did this play like 2.5 years ago, my first job out of school, and Jonathan Demme heard about the play, and he heard I was in California working on this project, and he sat down and had a meeting with me, and he said that he wanted me to be a part of the project. And I was so impressed, because I'm like, yo, you're Jonathan Demme. You know, I should be paying you to work with you, and you're asking me to be a part of a project as monumental and as timeless as the remake of Manchurian Candidate, with people like Meryl Streep and, you know, opposite Jeffrey Wright. You know, that's a huge, huge blessing.
Have they stayed with the original script, or at least the original movie script?
The original idea and context of the, you know, the original movie with Frank Sinatra was so avant-garde at its time. It was a movie made way before its time. And what Jonathan Demme has done, I feel, is a beautiful salute to the soldiers that we've lost in this recent tragedy in Iraq. And it's really beautiful the way he questions our judgment, and you know, that also, as well as She Hate Me, as a social commentary of the world that we're living in today. And the way he pulled it off is phenomenal.
But the storyline is pretty much
the storyline is pretty much the same. But what he's done with Denzel's character and the way he's transcended the idea of race, going from Frank Sinatra to Denzel Washington, is just beautiful, actually. And Denzel does some Oscar-worthy work, all of them. Liev Schreiber, who I'm so glad to see he's finally having his breakout role, because he's such a phenomenal artist. And Meryl Streep, who, you know, is Meryl Streep. And Denzel all do Oscar-worthy work in this movie.
In the original movie, who played your role?
You know, I don't even know the actor's name. I don't even know. It's
He didn't go on to become a well-known actor?
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I can check that.
I mean,
I was just curious.
Yeah, when I decided to do it, I didn't do it. I've been lucky in my career to not have to work for fame and fortune and spotlight. You know, I work more for the people that I want to be around and the people who have shaped and formed my career. You know, growing up, Denzel Washington's performance in Philadelphia was monumental to me. Like, I'd never seen anything like that, as well as Tom Hanks' performance. So when I found out Jonathan Demme directed that, I was like, I need to work with that director, because he knows how to craft performances. He knows how to work with actors. And when he asked me to be in his movie, I was so blown away and so honored. I was like, I don't have to have lines. You know, I'll walk around in the background just to say I work with you, because I respect you and I honor you as an artist, you know? So I don't know if the original guy went on to fame and fortune, but for some people in this business, it's not all about that.
Well, Anthony, I am so happy to meet you.
Thank
and I'm
you.
sure that this will not be our first and last. I'm sure there will be more meetings in the future.
I hope so.
And congratulations to you on your performance in She
Thank you.
Hate Me.
Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
I appreciate it. Thank you. It was great to meet you, Bob.
No.
Okay.
Go for it.
Two shot, huh?
Mm-hmm.
And Anthony, just start to answer, and then I'll wave you off. This is just an editing procedure.
Okay. No problem.
All right. Let's see, where do we start? Okay. Anthony, tell me honestly your reaction the first time you heard about or the first time you read the script of She Hate Me.
Oh. Well, I was really impressed with what Spike was trying to do, as far as telling the story, as far as the character he was trying to present.
That's fine.
Okay.
Are you telling me that Spike Lee hired you in spite of the fact that you're not a Nick fan?
Well, believe it or not, Spike might be a diehard Nick fan, but we had a huge fight over Tim Duncan and Dirk Nowitzki, and you know.
What is the most difficult day you had on the set?
It was the day with Brian Dennehy and Ozzie Davis, because I was so impressed with the fact.
Was there any scene that made you nervous or uptight?
Probably all the sex scenes.
Okay, that's good. All right. What role do you play in The Manchurian Candidate?
One of the young soldiers at the beginning, Bobbie Baker. He's part of the platoon with Denzel.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
No matter how you try to control it, you are going to be compared, you are being compared with Denzel Washington.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Does this version of The Manchurian Candidate follow the same storyline?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's pretty much the same. Jonathan was trying to keep true to the original story, but do his own film as well. So he developed a very simple contemporary plot while staying true to the original story and allowing Denzel to do his thing, and Liev and Meryl Streep to bring their own individual character to the film.
That's fine. Okay, that's got it.
That's good.
Yeah, that's all right.